NJPW Academy in Los Angeles, California. Are you an experienced pro wrestler looking to get to the next level? Or are you looking to take your first steps into the ring? NJPW Academy offers beginners and advanced level classes taught by world-class trainers. Learn the strong style traditions of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I am New Japan Academy. Johnnie, New Japan Academy.
Please visit njpw1972.com for more information.
Welcome everyone to the NJPW Academy 3rd Anniversary Showcase. I'm Mark Warzeka. This is Jordan Castle. We are here in Southern California in the LA Dojo with a stacked card, Jordan.
What a card we have in store. 3 years, Mark. It's really true what they say, that time flies when you're having fun, and we have a fun one in store for you tonight, wrestling fans. In our main event, 5-star Raymond Bright challenges Mr. 551 CJ Tino for the mantle of Strong Survivor. New Japan Academy Cup winner Allan is in the house. Johnnie Robbie is in the house, and I'm personally very excited for this one. The son of the icon, Stephen Borden, here in the LA Dojo for the very first time.
It is time to go to work. Let's get to the ring.
This is today's opening match. Singles match, 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit.
It's not every day that you get to witness someone's first ever professional wrestling match in an opening
5
contest.
feet, 9 inches, 205 pounds, Bastion Infinite!
In our opening contest is Bastion Infinite's first match ever. It's his opponent's first match ever. Here he comes!
Red corner, 6 feet, 210 pounds, Klay, Cutler!
Jordan, this is what this showcase and what this academy is all about.
Nerves always high here at the LA Dojo, Mark Warzeka, especially
Scarlett Donovan.
in the opening contest, and especially for these two gentlemen. Talk to us a little bit about what this kind of opportunity means. Your first ever match over the cerulean blue.
The bell rings, the 3rd anniversary showcase underway, and for both of these men, can you imagine, Jordan, the nerves, the pressure, the dreams coming true in this ring right now?
I think back to the first ever match that you and I called back at Academy Showcase 2, Angus, Legstrong, and Hex. Similarly in the opening contest here, setting the stage and keeping things simple, alluding to the young lion style, very traditional offense and defense, very traditional ring attire here, Mark.
And so far, we're seeing basics, fundamentals, exactly what you'd expect to see from 2 trainees of this academy. Both of these men started in the beginner's class. They have both moved up to the advanced class.
That's right. Bastion actually taking 2 separate courses of the beginner's class. Thought for a very long time he didn't have what it takes to make it to this stage, to achieve this dream cover here. And through the help of the coaches and fellow Academy graduates, made it to the advanced class, has made it here to Academy Showcase. Similarly, Klay Cutler going through a 100-pound weight loss journey, transforming his body and likewise his life to make this a possibility.
You can see, you can feel the hunger in both of these men. They not only want to have a great showcase, they want to win, Jordan. They want to remember for the rest of their lives that they were victorious in their first pro wrestling match ever.
That's right, especially as you can hear Cutler tonight. Several friends, family, and fans in attendance. You got to think that adds to the pressure that much more, Mark.
Absolutely. Such a show up and show out, which is the case for every wrestler on this 3rd Anniversary Academy Showcase here today.
Such an intimate environment here in the LA Dojo. You hear every cheer, you hear every jeer, you hear everything from the audience, but for these athletes especially, you gotta have tunnel vision. You gotta make sure that's as much of a non-issue as possible.
It's one of the things I love about these showcases, Jordan. It's like, we're not in an arena, we're in the actual dojo. We're in the place where these men train. And listen to this crowd cheering on Klay Cutler.
Series of arm drags here from Cutler, looking so impressive. Bastion wisely trying to cover up in the corner, but Cutler not making it easy. Into a hip toss here, center of the cerulean blue, into a cover. You know, Cutler, very, very impressive. Actually, the recipient of the NJPW Academy Scholarship, handpicked by Rocky Romero in a class of 30 others. And now, Mark, going for the Boston Crab.
There it is, the sort of Legendary. Oh!
Bastion with the reversal knew that if Cutler were to cinch in that Boston crab, it would be all she wrote.
Impressive to see counters to each other's moves in this opening contest.
Again, they know each other so well in both the beginners and the advanced class, training together multiple times a week under Coach Fred Rosser.
I always love to check out what's going on at NJPW Academy on Instagram. You can see some of that training that's happening here. Some of the workouts that happen right here in this dojo, or even right outside on the streets.
NJPW Academy on Instagram or NJPW1972.com. Also where you want to head if you want to be a part of the next intake, summer intake, beginning May 11th of this year.
If you're watching this and you have a dream just like these two wrestlers have, you want to be in this ring just like they are, you can make that happen here. It's a really fast-paced opening match so far, Jordan. They're both aggressive in this thing.
When we talk about how must-win it is for both of these men, all the work they've put in to make it to this point, as you said, just being here isn't enough for Cutler or Bastion.
Strong breaker. Firing away to the midsection.
A series of forearms and uppercuts here from Cutler. He's a real bruiser. Again, we talk a lot about the technical prowess here in the New Japan ring, but Cutler, he's a heavy hitter, Mark.
There's been multiple times where it felt like Cutler was starting to take dominance in the match, but Bastion Infinite cut it off.
Talking about cut off, gorgeous drop kick in the center of the ring.
Gotta follow up.
Chirping chops to the chest, and once again, all reliable. Those uppercuts, but some fighting spirit here from Bastion.
Chops echoing throughout the LA Dojo. It's an unseasonably hot day here in Southern California. That may affect these competitors as well.
Oh, it's not affecting Cutler here. Going for the backslide, shoulders down. No. Roll up here.
Neither man has been shy about going for the cover pretty much right from the opening bell.
Shoulders down once again. No. You have to think. If you're Bastion Infinite, you want to once again hook in that Boston crab, but Cutler not making it easy for him here, Warzeka.
They're standing in a ring right now that very recently John Moxley's been in.
5 minutes have elapsed. 5
They've
minutes.
all been here visiting the dojo in just the last couple weeks.
Can't forget Big Boom AJ.
The Rizzler, Big Justice.
Hold on, talking about that Boston crab, the signature of the Young Lions.
That's right.
Klay Cutler looking to lock it in here, looking to turn Bastion over onto his stomach, get the full torque, and he does.
There it is. It's fundamental to all New Japan training throughout the New Japan system.
Bastion inching towards that bottom rope, looking to force the break, but inches feel like miles here, Warzeka, and he does. No! Cutler grabbing Bastion, dragging him back towards the center, and he's got no choice but to tap.
Time, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Here is your winner, Klay Cutler.
A terrific showing for both of these athletes. Klay Cutler victorious, but Bastion Infinite has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of in his opening contest. What heart he fought with.
Yeah, take nothing away from Bastion, but willed onwards by a slew of fans here in the LA Dojo. Klay Cutler's first ever professional wrestling match, a successful one. And it's not the first debut we've seen here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think about the tag team match with the likes of Onyx Amagi, who we'll see later on tonight. I think about Zane J, the latest addition to the United Empire, as much as he strayed from the teaching of the NJPW Academy, Mark.
And a first match here was a strong survivor, which is something that we'll be touching on in our main event a little bit later.
But now, back to ring announcer Adnan Qureshi.
Second match, singles match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit.
Things really coming full circle in a big way here in this match, Mark.
You can feel a vibe change in this dojo right now with the entrance of this competitor.
The Voodoo Warrior has arrived. Told me she's on a path of greatness guided by her ancestors. They are with her always as she tries to fulfill a self-imposed prophecy.
She has called herself wrestling's hidden gem. Is that gem gonna shine here today at the 3rd anniversary showcase?
Red corner, 5 feet, 7 inches. Voodoo Warrior, Madame PJ Laurier.
And Mark, unlike our previous contest with 2 Academy graduates, PJ Laurier is in the ring with a fellow Academy graduate, but not from her class. A woman who, in the 3 years since this class began, since this camp began, has risen to new heights, has gone to Mexico, has gone to the land of the rising sun, has competed in New Japan Strong, and tonight, she returns home.
Yeah, to your point, Jordan, she has become truly an international competitor. And we think back, of course, to the very first Academy Showcase 3 years ago, and she was in the main event versus another successful.
Blue corner, 5 feet, 3 inches. La Traviesa, Johnnie, Robbie!
Versus another successful graduate, Trish Adora.
Not just in the main event, victorious in the main event, defeating Trish Adora. I alluded to things coming full circle, Mark, and because in many ways, PJ Laurier in the position now that Johnnie was those 3 years ago. Johnnie was the upstart. Johnnie was fighting from under, trying to make her name against a established and regular member of the New Japan Pro Wrestling pantheon. Now, tables have turned.
She's in more of the veteran, more experienced position here.
Mention her time. Competing in Japan, competing in Mexico with CMLL, recently completed a tour of Germany and the United Kingdom. It would probably take less time to list the amount of places that Johnnie Robbie hasn't wrestled than it would to list the places she has, Mark.
Another competitor on that first ever showcase, Jordan. Kevin Knight just recently challenged for the AEW World Championship.
That's right. They know how to pick them. They know how to make them here at NJPW Academy, excuse me. And you know PJ Laurier would love nothing more than to be the next in that lauded list of superstars.
Some of the best training anywhere in the world happens right here in this dojo, right here in this ring. We've been hearing from so many of the wrestlers about the great training that they feel
Going
like
back to that Boston
here.
crab.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
It won Klay Cutler the match just moments ago. Laurier maybe looking for the same, but instead deadlifting Robbie up.
How about that power?
Shoulders down. No. All it takes is 3 seconds, Mark.
Waist lock.
And to your point, what would it mean for Laurier to pick up a victory, arguably an upset victory here against Johnnie Robbie?
Well, absolutely huge for her career, but also huge for her mindset, for her morale, to know that she came into what you could consider Johnnie Robbie's house and defeated her here.
Well, talk about mindset. She's looking uber confident here. If there are nerves, there are butterflies in the stomach of PJ Laurier. You're not seeing them right now, Warzeka.
Nice shoulder block. Johnnie Robbie's feeling that one. And Laurier needs to stay in control here, which is easier said than done when you're wrestling Johnnie Robbie, because look at that.
Yeah, think about how good Johnnie Robbie was at that first Academy Showcase. Think about how good she was when her and Trish teamed against J-Rod and Viva Van back at Academy Showcase 2. Since then, she's only gotten better, badder, and brighter.
There are multiple wrestlers, Johnnie Robbie is one of them, on this card today that have had multiple Academy Showcase matches, and I think that in each one of those cases, it's to their advantage. They're familiar with this
Lateral
venue.
press.
They're comfortable in this ring, and that's gonna make a difference.
But likewise, if you're Johnnie Robbie, right, you can't afford to rest on your laurels. Say, I've been here before, I've been victorious before. With a competitor as determined as PJ Laurier in her Academy Showcase debut, it's a recipe for disaster.
Whip in, reverse the whip. We've seen a lot of reversals in this match so far.
Of course, the New Japan turnbuckles here, bearing the full weight of the impact, and Johnnie Robbie there with a big boot in the corner, excuse me. Control the arm here, perhaps.
She's hanging onto the arm, Jordan, to your point, yes.
Setting up Laurier for the buzz ball, that signature lariat she's used to win many a match as of late.
Less experienced wrestler might have landed one of those kicks.
Northern Light suplex, shoulders down, and a kick out from Laurier.
But Johnnie held on to that wrist and made sure she got 3 kicks in. That's experience difference.
Multiple birds, 1 stone, and a nasty PK to the back of Laurier. You have to wonder if there's some part of Johnnie Robbie, now a veteran of this dojo system, that's testing Laurier.
Absolutely. It's a thing that we've heard many times from the coaches when they face their students on these showcases, from the veterans when they face younger wrestlers. They absolutely never go easy on them. They're always going harder on them.
If anyway, it's the opposite, right? You not only want to see what they got, see if they can prove their mettle, you also don't want to disrespect your student, disrespect your underling by hitting them any lighter. And clearly, Robbie not hitting Laurier any lighter.
She's been lethal with her feet throughout this match so far. Just unloading with kicks, and here comes another. Lands another PK.
Bringing Laurier back up to that base again and again and again, giving her the opportunity, but now some fighting spirit on display from Laurier. Doing it for the ancestors here, looking to make her family tree proud. And Mark, if I'm not mistaken, she just asked for one more, this time grabbing the leg.
She's rising up from her feet and taking some big chops.
Eating these chops for lunch here is Laurier. Uh-oh, not today, Johnnie Robbie. Got her up. Oh, but couldn't make, no, hold on here. Robbie.
Submission.
Very, very wisely reversing it, turning lemons into lemonade here, and Laurier has got to reach that rope lest she fall like Bastion Infinite, and she does, Mark.
Absolutely had no choice but to get to the ropes. And referee Scarlett Donovan right in there.
Robbie not letting go of that hold.
5 minutes have elapsed. 5 minutes.
Hear that 5-second call from ring announcer Adnan Qureshi. Talk to us a little bit, Mark, about what that does to the psyche of these competitors.
It's a 15-minute time limit in this match, and we have seen time limit draws in showcases in the past. The time is a factor here today.
Cannot afford to focus on that time. Got to stay laser focused on your opponent. And Johnnie Robbie making her way back up to her vertical base first, but Laurier not far behind here, Warzeka.
She keeps just rising back up and willing herself back into the fight.
It ain't about how hard you get hit, Mark. It's about how hard you get hit and about how you keep getting up. And Laurier time and time again is getting up here.
Certainly right now, I think you've got to say Laurier is winning the psychological game as well as the physical game.
Spine buster into a cover. Big stack, but not enough. A slight delay on that cover, and I think it might have cost her, Mark.
And not a strong kick out, Jordan.
No.
You could feel Johnnie Robbie fading and see it in that kick out.
And if she was fading then, you got to think if Laurier hits whatever she's setting up for now, that'll be all she wrote for Johnnie Robbie. Pump handle, but Robbie wisely lands on her feet. Gnarly strikes here from Johnnie Robbie. Laurier on spaghetti legs. No, a reversal. Huracan! And Robbie dropped.
Can PJ follow it up here? Pump handle again.
Maybe zeroing in on victory. This time she got her. Will it be enough? No! So close, Mark, milliseconds away, but Johnnie Robbie manages to get the shoulder up.
I don't know if Johnnie Robbie has ever recovered from when the Voodoo Warrior sat up
Listen,
earlier in this match. It's just psychologically so intimidating.
Anaconda Vice cinched in here by PJ Laurier to beat Johnnie Robbie is one thing, to make her tap out is another, and Robbie wisely rolling Laurier into her shoulders, trying to break the submission with a cover. And Laurier, again, keeping the limbs of Johnnie Robbie ensnared here. It's like a puzzle that Johnnie Robbie has to break, Mark.
It's been absolutely... She hung on.
And not going for the cover. Again, submission hold cinched in. Bending the spine of Johnnie Robbie in the center of the ring.
Johnnie may tap. Johnnie may tap.
Again, how embarrassing would that be? How humiliating would that be for Johnnie Robbie as she manages... No, so close, gets so far.
And what a score for Laurier if she can tap out Johnnie Robbie in her first ever showcase.
Do what Trisha Dora, Viva Van, and J-Rod were unable to, and we may be moments away here, Mark. Johnnie Robbie's fading fast. Finally reaches that bottom rope, but how much damage was done?
Again, it's just pure desperation and great wrestling to get herself, find a way to get herself to the ropes, but she's got to do more than that to get back in this match.
You have to think both of these women with their sights set on stardom gold opportunities and stardom. We saw Johnnie Robbie compete last year in Las Vegas, and there it is, the buzz ball! Johnnie Robbie with the buzz ball! And she got it.
What a win!
Time, 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Here is your winner, Johnnie Robbie!
Awesome victory for Johnnie Robbie, Jordan. Pulling that out of nowhere and finding the win.
Once again, your winner, Johnnie Robbie.
And that speaks to the craftsmanship of Johnnie Robbie to hit that buzz ball, a game ender that no doubt PJ Laurier had scouted, as you said, out of nowhere.
Laurier was so impressive in this, not walking away with the win, but I think she should walk away feeling very good about her abilities and performance in a tough situation.
And never to be ashamed when you fall to Johnnie Robbie. As I said, better, badder, and brighter. And you have to think PJ Laurier in 3 years' time, hoping for that same kind of ascension.
We're gonna see a lot more of her, I suspect.
Up next, tag team competition on tap as Rico and Movie Mike go head-to-head with Danger Ross and Zuka King. Something a little different there, Mark Warzeka.
Very interesting pairings.
Third match, tag team match. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
Always great to see referee Justin Borden back in a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring. Now, Danger Ross in the orange is no stranger to New Japan Academy showcases, though the same cannot be said of his tag team partner here tonight.
We're used to seeing Danger Ross in tag team action. We're used to seeing Danger Ross in this LA Dojo. We're not used to seeing him with this particular partner.
Red corner, 5 feet, 8 inches, 225 pounds, Zuka! 6 feet, 2 inches, 227 pounds, Danger Ross!
Danger Ross, of course, part of the tag team Live Danger. His usual partner, Livewire Charlie. He is teaming for the first time in his life with someone that's not Livewire Charlie in Zuka King.
Yeah, and it begs the question, right? A great tag team wrestler is a great tag team wrestler, but how much does a change in partner affect the strategy and the mindset of Danger Ross here tonight? Used to this environment, but not under these circumstances.
You look at someone like Rocky Romero, who's been able to win tag team titles with multiple partners all over the world, but not everybody is able to make that adjustment and be able to successfully,
Now, Mark, just when we were starting to have fun, Rico, the perpetual boil on the back of NJPW Academy, and he's found a friend, or perhaps a friend has found him in a form.
Rico has reigned on many parades here in previous showcases. A heck of a wrestler. I don't know that he needs to cheat, but I think he just likes to.
The worst part, he's so dang good. He's found a co-star here tonight.
Blue corner, 5 feet, 10 inches, Movie Mike! 5 feet, 10 inches, 186 pounds, certified stunner, Rico!
Rico and Movie Mike, in some ways, seem like they might be a natural fit as a first-time tag team, but they both got main character energy, Jordan. I don't know how they're going to work together.
You have to wonder if those egos can coexist, at least long enough to win a tag team match here tonight. Though, Movie Mike told me earlier on tonight he could have picked anybody to be a part of his movie, of course, referring to this matchup but Ray was a main character, and he wanted a main character standing beside him.
He considers himself a cinematic masterpiece. Those are
does
his
he
words,
now?
Jordan.
Does
Those
he
are his
now?
words.
Okay. Well, listen, we might have our opinions about the attitude and the showmanship of Movie Mike. What you cannot deny is his natural ability and his performance in this Academy camp. It was Coach Fred Rosser himself that said to us, Movie Mike is TV ready.
Those were his exact words from the head coach. He said TV ready. Let's find out, though, if he can be victorious in his first ever Academy Showcase match.
You know, knowing Movie Mike, he would probably take offense to that. He'd say the TV is too small a screen.
He's got a chip on his shoulder for sure, Jordan. You know, he says he understands the pain that Marty Supreme felt because Hollywood has wronged him so much.
I think I might take Marty Mauser over Movie Mike, and a little ginger to start this match off here against
They
Danger Ross.
can't even figure out who's going to start. Look at Movie Mike stepped out, and Ray Rico's been tagged in.
Of course, we've seen Ray Rico with victories here at Academy Showcases against El Mashica, as well as Dante Griffith and Coach Fred Rosser in tag team competition. Up to this point, he and partner Shane Haste, the only two to ever hand the coach a loss here in this dojo. Danger Ross looking to become next.
There's some boom boom firepower. He's locked and loaded here.
Serious intensity from Danger Ross here. Feels disrespected by the certified stunner. And in comes Movie Mike.
Quick tag, Ray Rico. Got hit with one move and bailed out of there.
Yeah, Rico wants no part of that. Danger Ross, you know, someone who a layman might think, someone who knows less might think, oh, this guy's all flash. He's no substance. And Mark, that couldn't be further from the truth as we're seeing here.
God, these matches have been so aggressive so far here tonight. It's great to see this intensity from all these graduates and alumni.
Cover! No.
And when talking with so many of these wrestlers about the training they receive here, from Fred Rosser, from the other coaches, they have said intensity. Intensity is what I'm learning.
For the first time, Zuka King legal in this matchup. A far cry from Livewire Charlie. He's a 10-year pro, originally trained by Bob Keller and John Schuyler. Has held championship gold up and down the East Coast. A real old-school brawler type, Mark.
That's right. He uses his size very well. He usually likes to wrestle at a methodical, deliberate pace. I don't know if he will be allowed to do that here from his opponents.
Especially not in frenetic tag team competition like we're seeing here. And Zuka telling me that he's mean, he's tough, he does things his own way. He's willing to coexist with Danger Ross here tonight. But it'll be interesting to see if that... Neckbreaker for flinching here.
Ray Rico didn't want to damage his pretty face.
Into a knee drop.
You know, he used to wear a mask.
Oh, I sure do, and he took it off, cover. Because, quote unquote, this is a direct quote.
Yeah.
No one should be stopped from seeing this beautiful
That's
face.
right. He didn't like lose a mask versus
No.
mask match. He just took it off so we could see his pretty face, Jordan.
And you know, we've made reference to it, but Ray Rico, a real low-down character. Hold on here.
Look at this gorilla press.
Look at the strength from Danger Ross. Rico, say what you will about him. He's a fully grown man, and he's getting manhandled here by Danger Ross.
Some ultimate power from Danger Ross.
There's some of that boom boom firepower on full display. Ross actually telling me earlier on tonight that he was having Zuka King practice. And it looks like the practice paid off.
There it is.
Cover from the King. And a kick out. You know, for a first-time ever tag team, these two are working like a well-oiled machine.
The pace has been good. They're tagging back and forth nicely. They certainly have been functioning as a better team than their opponents have been.
Perhaps that speaks to the tag team experience of Danger Ross. To your point, frequent tags, one in, one out, keeping each other fresh. These are fundamentals, not just of pro wrestling, but of tag team wrestling.
And Danger Ross did tell us they were working together. They were prepping together for this match. I don't know that that was the case with Ray Rico and Movie Mike.
Unable to prep for that, referee Justin Borden distracted and giving Movie Mike time on the outside to take the fight to Danger Ross, drilling his spine into the apron here. Movie Mike never met a low road he didn't like, Mark Warzeka.
And Ray Rico's the same way.
Well, of course, who could forget the Academy Cup? Dismayed at being knocked out in the first round, that he injured Raymond Bright after the matchup. For my money, That's the reason why Raymond Bright didn't win the Academy Cup. Take nothing away from eventual winner Allan Breeze, but Rico stealing 5 stars moment.
I don't know that I'll ever forgive him for it, and I am glad, though, that Raymond Bright's going to have an opportunity in a main event here today to possibly become the new strong survivor.
That's right, challenging CJ Tino later on tonight. But again, behind referee Justin Bordon's back, it's Movie Mike blinding and choking Danger Ross with his own headband. Give me a break.
Look, he loves
5
every
minutes
second
left.
of it, too.
5
Levels it.
minutes.
Oh, no. I don't care how many times you take that to the dry cleaner or throw it in the washing machine, you are never getting that headband clean.
Oh, huge chop in a corner. Rico just pushed him in retaliation.
And again, say what you will about Rico as he takes a page out of Live Danger's book here. He's a very skilled athlete. And, well, Danger Ross doesn't give a damn, Mark.
Back of a clothesline. He's got to fight his way over to his corner. Zuka King wants that tag.
It is a make or break moment, but Movie Mike going to ensure it does not happen. And Ross is fired up here, Mark. I think this is the most intense I've ever seen Danger Ross in his 3 Academy showcase appearances.
Well, he and Livewire Charlie like to have a lot of fun, and this is a more serious side of him, certainly.
But as we've seen before, you cannot let the intensity get the better of you. Sometimes it can make you see red, and an angry fighter is a sloppy fighter there. Rico going for that tiger feint kick, but instead drilled leg first on the apron.
Devastating. That's we hear it all the time. That's the hardest part of the ring, where Danger Ross's head just hit, followed up with a DDT.
Cover here, hook of the leg. A kick out here, you saw Zuka King, didn't have to do it, but in the ring, he was gonna break up the pin of his own accord.
This is the first of 2 tag matches we've got today on this fantastic card. Another one coming up a little later featuring the son of Sting, Steve Borden.
Oh boy, feature presentation, previews are over, and I think we're going for a slow motion elbow drop, but maybe took a little too much time, did Movie Mike.
Well, it might have been slow motion elbow, but he missed every bit of it in real time.
And think about it, from that height with that much momentum, Movie Mike landing elbow first on the Cerulean Brew. It's gotta hurt, Mark. Oh, come on, a rake of the eyes here.
Danger Ross has got to get out of there.
Pulling the hand, he's gotta get out of here, but Movie Mike and Rico making it so difficult with the underhanded tactics, attacking Zuka King from the corner.
They're making it impossible for him to tag. If he cannot get a tag, he is eventually going to be worn down and defeated. They're fantastic wrestlers.
Exploder suplex cover. And a kick out from Ross. It's almost frustrating how good Rico and Movie Mike
They're
are.
fantastic wrestlers. They don't need to resort to these maneuvers.
Mike now isolating Ross, leaving the opening with a springboard sent on from Rico. Cover once again. We're seeing frequent covers here on Danger Ross. What does that tell you, Mark?
Well, first of all, it speaks to Danger Ross's endurance, right? He's able to keep kicking out and find a way to stay in this one.
Great point.
And second, I think we're seeing as the match moves on that these 2 men are starting to function a little better, Jordan, as a tag team.
That's right, the ego is being set aside, at least for the moment. Ross maintaining control of that top rope, reversal of the whip. No jockeying for position here, but it's Ross who ducks the line. Just absorbs that chop into a spear.
Now's your chance.
Did you see that? Rico landed that chop fully, and Ross just kept on going.
I don't know if he knows where he is, though. I think he's reaching for the wrong corner.
He finally has Zuka King in his sights, but he's got several feet to go. Can he make it here, Mark?
Zuka King reaches. Danger Ross gets it. And here comes Zuka King. He's had a long time to
referee
rest.
Justin Borden didn't see it.
Are you kidding me?
Movie Mike with the distraction once again. Danger Ross got the tag fair and square, but the official didn't see it.
Double team behind the back of the ref.
Oh, they're going to steal it here, Mark. This is it. No! I mean, Mark, take nothing away from Danger Ross or Zuka King for that matter. I'm not sure if they'll have an opportunity like that again.
These guys are taking every possible shortcut they can, Jordan.
And now Movie Mike wants to be in there with Danger Ross. Remember, at the onset of this contest, wanted no part of this guy. Now with the underhanded tactics and the distractions, now he wants him, but he may be regretting that decision here, Mark.
Pure firepower. Are you kidding me?
Look at the strength, double stack, Samoan drop. Make the tag, Ross.
Zuka King.
Long live the king! Zuka with a big spinning elbow shot.
He's not done yet. Splash in the corner. Unloading.
Just smothering movie Mike here, looking to send him to development hell. Oh, and the straps come down, Warzeka. That can only mean one thing. Maybe gave movie Mike the opening, took too much time. Sky high.
Cover.
Big sit-out power bomb broken up by Rico. You have to think, if not for the insertion of the certified stunner, that would have been it, Mark.
I do not know if movie Mike would have kicked out there.
And this is utter bedlam here. I certainly do not envy referee Justin Borden.
More double team. Danger Ross is out on the outside. Zuka King all alone. Here comes Ross is back. Finally.
Double clotheslines working in tandem here, and I think Ross is calling for the end.
It's about time these guys got a taste of their own medicine. Here's some nice tag team work from this first-time team.
Gotta be so cathartic for Ross and Zuka King. Double cover here, but still not enough. What on earth is it gonna take, Warzeka?
This thing is breaking down. I'm not even sure who's legal. I think it's Zuka King and movie Mike still.
And Mike with a roll-up here. Oh, give me a break!
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Time, 10 minutes and 55 seconds. Here are your winners, Rico and movie Mike.
Mark, we don't have to like it. Hell, we don't even have to respect it. But the fact of the matter is, the success of Rico continues here in the LA Dojo. Movie Mike off to a great start here at the Academy Showcase.
He's going to be even worse, Jordan. He's going to be even cockier next time.
Is that even possible?
He will be. Man, that's a tough loss for Zuka King and Danger Ross.
Credit to both men. Danger Ross adjusting to a different tag team partner. Zuka King adjusting to a different type of match. For my money, even in defeat, these two flourishing
They
here,
did
Mark.
everything they possibly could have done. The deck was stacked against them when your opponents have no scruples.
Singles competition on tap up next.
Fourth match, singles match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit.
Here. You want to know why they call him the bullseye, Mark Warzeka?
Why is that, Jordan?
It's because he's everything you're shooting for.
This man was a former Division I football player 2 years ago. Began training in professional wrestling. He's been trained by one of the greats, Dustin Rhodes, and now he's here with us at the NJPW Academy to get even better.
Blue corner, 5 feet, 11 inches, 220 pounds, the bullseye, Cordell!
Yeah, if you're looking for training in professional wrestling, it doesn't get much better than Dustin Rhodes and NJPW Academy, Mark.
He's gonna have a real test, though, with his opponent, who has 7 years experience on the East Coast in Puerto Rico, and now here in Southern California.
Moving here from Puerto Rico, relocating his entire life to train here for the past 3 months. It's the New Age Vagabond.
You can already see and feel the passion of this wrestler.
Red corner, 5 feet, 7 inches, 180 pounds, New Age Vagabond, Jovani!
Well, and you speak to passion. That's something when we were speaking to Coach Fred Rosser earlier on tonight that he singled out Jovani for. He said he's passionate. He makes me feel something as a coach. And tonight, Jovani hoping that translates into a victory over Cordell.
Jovani said, greatness to me is a birthright. His name actually means presence of God. Bell rings. And here come these two. singles competitors.
Yeah, Jovani not shy about sharing that he feels like he was destined for greatness. It's destiny manifest in many ways for him to be here. All that hard work, it's all led to this, Mark. We got a 40-pound weight disparity here between these two. Cordell with a decided advantage and smile on his face. Talk about uber confident, Warzeka.
Both these guys have had a fantastic training before coming here. Now laying the NJPW Academy training on top of that. Jovani trained with George South.
That's right, talk about pedigree. Talk about scrappiness. I asked Jovani earlier on tonight what he's learned most from his time here at NJPW Academy. He told me hard work will always beat talent, and consistency will beat both. The question, Mark Warzeka, is that hard work enough to outmatch the size of Cordell?
That's right, and we just saw, look, here it is again. We're seeing Cordell just kind of dominate, use his size and power.
A really fundamental takedown here from the bullseye.
That's going to be tough to overcome. I think Jovani is going to have to push pace. He's going to have to stick and move.
Cordell not giving him any room to breathe, but
Jovani
wisely going for a lapel lock here, and Cordell realizes where he is, gets his arm on the bottom rope to force the break. But I think for the first time in this matchup, Cordell realizing that Jovani has something to show him here.
Yeah, that was some, you can see some of the experience right there. 7 years of pro wrestling under his belt.
Jovani caught on the electric chair, but look at the reversal once again. I said it before, I'll say it again. Turning lemons into lemonade here.
This is what I'm talking about. He's got to push pace like this and not get, and keep this match moving and keep Cordell off his feet if he can.
That's right, the slower and more methodical things get, the more the match lends itself to Cordell. Hold on, I'm gonna break Cordell's arm here. Victory by any means necessary, but Cordell wisely gets the arm out of dodge at the last second. Maybe going for that big stepper, but Jovani had it scouted there, Mark.
Big stepper has his curb stomp off the bottom rope. And if he'd have hit it right then, this match would have been over.
You have to think both of these men, graduates of this specific class of NJPW Academy. I believe the first time we're seeing that here tonight at the 3rd anniversary showcase. So they're intimately familiar with one another. They're chinks in the armor, their offensive strategies. These two know each other as well as any two competitors may.
That's right, and I think that gets tricky for both wrestlers in terms of strategy. Is there something that you haven't shown, your opponent here in your academy training that you can pull out and surprise them with?
And likewise, the training is so similar, right? Jovani and Cordell, such different wrestlers, but for the past 3 months, they've both been learning under the same man in Coach Fred Rosser. They want to put that training to good use. They can't afford to show their hand to the other.
We're not too far away from the next intake here in Southern California. You want to be part of this academy, May 11th, 2026.
That's right. Head to NJPW Academy on Instagram and NJPW1972.com for more information.
And we're not too far away from the G1 Climax just outside of Chicago. That is going to be, tickets are on sale now, July 11th. You got to be there live. First time in 7 years that our fans have an opportunity outside of Japan to be at a G1 show.
That's right. Every match will be a tournament match. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com. And in many ways, these are the kind of stages that these athletes are fighting for. They grew up fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling. They dreamed of opportunities like this. They hope to one day see themselves at shows like the G1 in Chicago. Maybe make it to the land of the rising sun. It all begins here, Mark.
Yes, and it's reminding me, what a knee.
Huge height there from Jovani. From Cordell to Jovani. Kick up there at 1, showing some of that athleticism that led him to success on the gridiron, Mark.
When I think about those dreams you were mentioning a moment ago, Jordan, think about Zane J, who we sat right here. We called his matches. We called his first ever match. He was a strong survivor, and now he's in United Empire, right? We've seen that growth. It's been amazing to see, and that's going to happen for so many of the wrestlers that are here on this showcase today.
And I'll address the elephant in the room. We here at New Japan Academy, Coach Fred Rosser, and all of us do not condone the actions or the attitude of Zane J. I really was. And the way he's treated his fellow roster members, the way he's treated the fans of Japan, it's deplorable. And we hope to see a change in Zane J. But until then, let it be known that we here at NJPW Academy do not endorse or condone the actions of Zane J.
Cordell continues to use that size, that power as we hit the 5-minute mark.
Cordell hits the butterfly suplex here, hook the leg. Kick out here from Jovani. What does Cordell have to do to put away Jovani here, Mark?
Well, it's another match where you have to be careful of time limit. I know that's only 5 minutes in, but it's a 15-minute time limit. He doesn't want Jovani to have a chance to let this thing go as long as possible. I think the longer it goes, the more it's to Jovani's advantage.
That's right, that gas tank of the New Age Vagabond neutralized here by Cordell. You see, slowing things down to a methodical pace, keeping Jovani grounded in a submission hold. Here we talk about this being the, oh, come on, no! Turnabout fair play, perhaps! We're gonna break Jovanisi's arm here. This is getting personal in a hurry here. Jovani manages to escape the clutches of Cordell.
God, he's in incredible condition. He just keeps finding a way to get back in this thing, but Cordell cuts it off.
In a power struggle, Cordell's gonna win every single time, but Jovani lands on his feet. Says he's got him. He did not. Cover from Cordell, floats over, and a kick out from Jovani.
It's a 40-pound weight difference. It's going to be a
cover once again.
It's going to be a factor as it was there on that suplex reversal.
Oh, talk about the power of Cordell, some athleticism as well. But it's not enough. I'll be honest, Warzek, I did not know he had that in him.
Breathtaking maneuver. Standing moonsault.
Let me ask you this, is that Cordell showboating, trying to make the most of his moment? The eyes on him here at an NJPW Academy showcase?
It may be. I mean, everybody wants to show off for the New Japan official, Short.
Or is that a sign of desperation, digging deep into his toolbox because, well, old reliable ain't working here against Jovani.
I think he knows he's got to hit that one big move to put Jovani away, and he just hasn't been able to find it yet.
Shoulders down from Jovani, looking to steal it here. Quick covers, the name of the game for the New Age Vagabond. Standing switches. Shoulders down once again. And again a kick out from Cordell, sending Jovani outside of the apron.
Yeah, but he can be dangerous out there.
No, control of the leg, shoulders down. Didn't quite get all of that. Was going for a spear. Wisely transitioned onto the leg, and now label lock cinched in once again, Warzeka. Nowhere to go now for Cordell.
If you're Jovani, this is exactly where you want Cordell. You want him down on the mats. You want him off of a vertical position.
You know, Mark, everyone's the same size when you're locked in a lapel lock. But Cordell wisely rolling Jovani onto his shoulders, still only a 2.
Great back and forth wrestling here. Counter after counter after counter after counter. Everybody wants the win in the Academy Showcase.
Oh, basement lariat there, cover! And a kick out. You know, Mark, you said it earlier, the longer and longer this match goes, the more it favors Jovani, and I think we're seeing it here.
He strung together several big offensive maneuvers in a row. And I thought he had Cordell just moments ago on that quick pin.
I asked you a question about Cordell. I'll ask the same about Jovani. What does he have to do to put away the big man?
He's got to, as they're tied up here.
Oh, Pele kick, nobody home. Going for the big stepper. And I think,
well, to answer your question, Jordan, he's got to avoid that.
We're never going to find the answer.
Time, 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Here is your winner, Cordell.
Cordell was expecting an easy win. He did not get it. Jovani was scrappy and determined.
Once again, your winner of the match, Cordell.
Super impressive performance here from Jovani, but tonight, David just too big, too small, excuse me, to contend with Goliath. The bullseye shooting for the stars, and thing landed far beyond the moon here. No doubt making Coach Justin Rhodes very, very proud with this performance.
We started this match, Jordan, by you informing us that Cordell calls himself the bullseye because he's everything you're aiming for. Nothing has changed here. He's still got the bullseye on him. He's still the target.
He said the thing he learned the most from Coach Fred Rosser was intensity and intent with everything, and it was those 2 eyes that led him to victory over a very game Jovani.
5th match, singles match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit.
This should be another great singles match with very interesting dynamics at play between these two wrestlers.
Yeah, two men we have seen previously here in NJPW Academy showcases.
The last time we saw this man, we had the honor of calling his first ever professional wrestling match. That was 2 years ago. He's 2 years older, he's 2 years wiser, he's got 2 years more experience.
And perhaps most notably, Mark Warzeka, he's 2 years more zen. As we see here, embracing that new mindset.
Blue corner, 5 feet 7 inches, 180 pounds, Super Senkai, Onyx, Amagi!
It's all about a zen, mellow energy, keeping things cool, calm, and collected, hoping that leads him to victory here against this man.
He's no stranger to the showcase, and it's great to have him back.
Yeah, the Midnight Marauder, a product of the Lionsgate Dojo. I mean, he told me to tell him. You were doing a fine job,
If anyone missed that, he just said, "You tell him who I am, Jordan. Tell him who I am."
Yeah, I gotta say, I got all the respect in the world for Casey Ferrer as a competitor, but recently this attitude is, it's something else entirely, Mark.
We've seen him here before, but he's gone through some changes since we've seen him last.
Red corner, 6 feet, 181 pounds, Midnight Marauder, Casey Ferrer!
Victorious alongside Seabass Finn and 5-star Raymond Bright over the Crustino crew. Of course, CJ Tino, Lucas Riley, and Dom Kubrick. And you have to wonder if maybe that success in the main event of the All-Star Academy showcase going to Casey's head a little bit.
Something has changed with him as the bell rings, and not only in terms of his personality, but there's been some transformations recently in his wrestling style.
That's right, getting a little more aggressive, perhaps most notably from that training of Nicole Matthews and Daniel Makabe to submission specialists, becoming more technical.
Yeah, I mean, we think of him as a high flyer, but he has been focused.
Oh, lateral press.
He has been focused on submitting his opponents and building on his submission game, and I expect we're going to see some of that here.
And perhaps that lends itself to the new attitude. Cares less about putting on a show for the people, putting a smile on the faces of the fans in attendance. All Casey Ferrer cares about is victory, especially here in an NJPW Academy ring. Control of the wrist here. It's really the feeling out process here between Amagi and Ferrer. Talk to us a little bit, Mark, about how important this juncture in a matchup really is.
Well, it's where you can establish dominance over your opponent, dictate pace, tone, energy. It's as important physically as it is mentally, these early moments and early minutes of a match.
Especially important for Onyx Amagi as he hopes to employ that Zen attitude. And you know, we asked him earlier, how does a Zen attitude lend itself to a sport as aggressive and violent as professional wrestling?
Because it could seem strange to hear that at first, right? A Zen attitude in wrestling.
He said there is peace in violence. I find the energy within that adrenaline. I find tranquility within that storm. Ferrer given an earful to referee Scarlett Donovan and a fistful to Onyx Amagi.
I've just never really seen this side of Casey before, and not sure I feel comfortable with it.
Onyx Amagi certainly does not, but has got to think on his feet. Got Ferrer up. But Casey, with the go-behind, shoots him off the ropes. Cartwheel there from Amagi, center of the ring. He is Super Zenkai.
We're in the eye of the storm. He's the calm center of this chaos.
And clearly, despite our doubts, it's working wonders for him here, Warzeka. Cover. And a kick out.
The technical wrestling has been
right.
just terrific.
A timeout. Did Casey Ferrer legitimately just call for a timeout?
Well, he's trying to. I don't think that's part of the rules.
He's got a count of 20 here on the outside, but you have to think if you're Casey Ferrer, Onyx Amagi not far behind, and indeed, Chirping chop to the chest. Turnabout, fair play, Mark.
Casey was so busy jawing with referee Scarlett Donovan, he didn't even see Amagi coming at him.
Amagi now. Oh, dropped with a handspring from Ferrer, and the Midnight Marauder looking to fly. PK!
Amagi got nailed.
Now, usually, this is where Casey Ferrer would hit that acai moonsault, and that's not what we're seeing here. Again, scaling back his style, getting more aggressive, getting more technical, doesn't care so much about putting on a show for the people.
If he can supplement the high flying that he's already so brilliant at with more technical prowess, with a submission arsenal, it's really gonna up his game.
Ferrer, someone who has previously shared a ring with fellow Vancouver native, former NJPW World Television Champion, ELP. He knows what the bright lights are all about. We're gonna teach Onyx a lesson in respect here, perhaps.
So quick. Oh, just kicked his arm out from under him.
And we know Amagi loves to employ, cover here, loves to employ that super vice, his variation on a stretch muffler, the berserker bomb, likewise. If that arm is neutralized, Mark, those moves are persona non grata.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jordan. And Casey Ferrer clearly knows this. And I think we're seeing his game plan here.
Casey, a guerrilla artist outside the world of professional wrestling, perhaps looking to vandalize the dreams of Onyx Amagi here tonight. Go behind. Control of the arm once again, the same injured arm he's been targeting for the past several minutes, Mark. Cover.
This is a point.
Oh, cover again. Cover's fast and furious here from Casey. Again, maybe some of that desperation we spoke to in our last contest.
This is the point in the match where I think Onyx's Zen mentality is really going to be tested, Jordan. Can he stay calm while he's weathering this storm, this barrage of offense? Stay focused and find a way back into the match.
It's really make or break for Onyx Amagi. He's got a clipped wing here, courtesy of Casey Ferrer.
5 minutes of elapsed. 5 minutes.
Now that was an action-packed 5 minutes. This is another match with a 15-minute time limit. And again, time limits have been a factor in previous showcases.
Will it be mind or matter for Onyx Amagi here tonight? Currently, Mark, it's looking like the latter. You hear Casey taunting, jaw-jacking with Onyx Amagi, saying, this is all you got? Come on.
There's a lot of respect in this dojo. There's a lot of respect in this academy. We don't see that type of trash talking often, and I'm surprised to see it from Casey Ferrer.
Zeroing in on that arm. Again, it might be despicable, but it sounds strategy, Mark. You find a body part, you isolate a body part, but Onyx Amagi not letting it stop him here. Dropped by Ferrer. Doesn't know where he is, into a cover. And a kick out. Had that donut eyes all glazed over, but now Casey going for the cross arm breaker here. Onyx wisely rolling Casey onto his shoulders and interlacing the fingers to alleviate the pressure. Rolling out of dodge. Jackknife. Now, but didn't have it cinched in deep enough there, Mark.
Has Casey successfully disrupted the Zen mentality of Onyx Amagi?
I think not. T-bone suplex, but it's all about the follow-through, Mark. One offensive maneuver, one offensive flurry is great. How do you follow up?
Casey has been going for a cover every opportunity he can in this match. Cover, cover, cover. He does not want to be in there a second longer than he has to be with Onyx Amagi.
And cross body there. Such innovation here from Amagi. And now, control of the leg. Perhaps looking to roll Casey over. Casey escapes the clutches of the Super Zenkai into a berserker bomb cover. No! Casey gets the shoulder up.
He hit it. I don't know if he hit it exactly like he wanted to, Jordan. He got some, but not all of it.
Well, we spoke to it with the injured arm. So
that's right.
Difficult to get all near 200 pounds of Casey Ferrer up into that sidewalk slam position. Now control of the leg.
Ooh, a version of a shin breaker here.
Went to the well one too many times. Ferrer with a cover and a kick out from Onyx. Ferrer gets the boot up. And now might be the time for some of that high flying. What a chop! It's a big risk for Casey Ferrer, but that might be what he needs here against a game Onyx Amagi.
Do what you know. Go back to how you know to win. Up high, the high flyer!
No water in the pool, and I think Casey Ferrer may have clipped his knee there. Onyx Amagi taking advantage of the awkward landing from Casey Ferrer. And he's going for it. The super vice cinched in here.
Locked in tight, he's got his fingers interlocked.
And we're a far cry from a few moments ago, previously interlocking those fingers to alleviate the pressure from Ferrera's cross arm breaker. Now his own super vice cinched in, and Casey may have no choice but to tap. Reaching for that bottom rope. No, sent throat first into the middle rope there, Mark. A Falcon arrow from Ferrer.
Cover.
And a kick out. Back and forth here, Warzeka.
I thought he had him there. Casey thought he had him as well.
You can see the frustration from Casey, already feeling the effect on that leg with the awkward landing from the top rope. You have to think, compartmentalized there from Onyx. With the super vice, his version of the stretch muffler. He's doing dangerous, dangerous waters, Warzeka.
He's climbing up, he's going up after him.
Not where you want to be if you're either one of these men, but it speaks to how important this opportunity is in the LA Dojo to prove how much you have grown since your time as a graduate of this academy. Big uppercut. Staggers Casey.
They're fighting back and forth in a very high risk and high rent part of town.
Amagi maybe setting Ferrer up for a superplex here. You have to think if he lands this, it's catastrophic for the Midnight Marauder.
He was trying to, but look at this, Jordan.
Right back to that injured arm. Casey Ferrer playing a game of chess here, and it's paying off. The injured arm that Casey's worked over this entire matchup may be the undoing of Super Zenkai Onyx Amagi.
10 minutes have elapsed. 10 minutes.
Gosh, the pace of this 10-minute match has been absolutely incredible. We've got 5 minutes left before we would hit the time limit in this one.
Now Casey again back up to the top rope. Is this wise with an injured leg, Mark?
Well, it's not, but he's doing it anyways, and it may pay off. Big risk for him as he goes all the way up top.
Big frog splash into the cover. No! That is a game ender for Casey Ferrer. And to his credit, not letting the kick out from Onyx Amagi sway him immediately into the submission, and Amagi with no choice but to tap.
Time, 10 minutes and 39 seconds. Here is your winner, Casey Ferrer.
Well, we said that Casey wanted to continue to include more submissions in his style. With that in mind, he's got to be happy with the way he just won this match. A submission victory.
You have to think McCabe and Matthews very pleased with that victory. I'm not sure if the same could be said of Coach Fred Rosser with the attitude we saw on display, but credit to Casey. Did not let the kick out from Onyx sway him immediately into that submission hold for the victory.
It's a pretty experienced maneuver for a wrestler who's only got 3 years under his belt. He stayed calm and cool. Onyx had a great showing in that match as well.
Sixth match, tag team match, one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
There's been a lot of buzz throughout the world of professional wrestling about this next match that we're about to see.
Two young men, again from the great state of Texas, previously training under the likes of Dustin Rhodes and Booker T.
And can you imagine already having that foundation and adding to it the training that you get here at the NJPW Academy?
Blue corner, 6 feet 7 inches tall, 300 pounds. Hit! 5 feet, 10 inches, 207 pounds. Flawless, Finn Parker!
You know, upon first glance, aesthetically, you wouldn't look at the heavy hitter hit or flawless Vin Parker and think they'd be a traditional match, but these two highly decorated in tag team competition in the great state of Texas.
I expect that's going to be a massive advantage for them in this tag team match, Jordan.
Hey, Mark Warzeka, you know what time it is?
What time?
I believe it's showtime. The New Japan Academy Cup winner, Allan Breeze, joined here tonight in tag team competition by the son of the Icon Sting, Stephen Borden.
They have not teamed before. As you mentioned, their
Red
opponents
corner,
have.
5 feet, 9 inches, 205 pounds. Allan Breeze! 6 feet, 4 inches, 230 pounds. Stephen Borden!
For Stephen Borden's first match at the NJPW Academy, he couldn't have a better partner. He couldn't have a partner that's more comfortable and experienced in this dojo.
A man in Allan Breeze who Coach Fred Rosser has labeled the MVP of NJPW Academy. Stephen Borden, of course, before his time here at NJPW Academy, training under the likes of Darby Allin and QT Marshall.
And he has been wrestling in AEW. Had some of his very first matches there.
That's right, this his 20th professional match. Only 20 matches, well, excuse me, only 19 matches under his belt. This match, number 20.
Gotta think there's nerves, there's butterflies, there's excitement, and there's opportunity. First time here in a New Japan ring.
Allan Breeze winning 2 matches in one night to become NJPW Academy Cup winner.
What a showing he had.
And that brought him to resurgence last year in his native Ontario, California, where unfortunately fell to CJ Tino, did not become New Japan's Strong Survivor. That Breeze's second time losing a Strong Survivor matchup on a stage of that magnitude. What has that done for the mindset of Allan Breeze?
Well, Allan Breeze has had such a roller coaster ride here in this dojo and throughout New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I think we have seen his ability to persevere, to stick with it, to stay focused, and to come back and accomplish things like winning the first Academy Cup.
That's right, has persevered through losses, has persevered through injuries. Inside Baseball, Mark Warzeka covered. Almost didn't even make it to his headline match against Coach Fred Rosser at last year's All-Star Academy Showcase. Didn't think doctors would clear him for that matchup. Fought like hell to make it to that opportunity, and now back at the Academy here against Vin Parker.
We've seen so much fantastic technical wrestling tonight, and this match is no different. Great back and forth exchange between Vin and Allan Breeze.
Vin Parker calls himself flawless. The definition of flawless is without any blemishes or imperfections, without any mistakes or shortcomings. Simply put, perfect. You think Vin Parker thinks highly of himself, Mark?
I think that's an understatement. And one thing that I think is fantastic about the team of Vin Parker and Hit is how their styles complement each other, right? I mean, they're different body sizes, they're different wrestling styles, but we have seen many tag teams throughout the decades that have been very successful in that same mold. They're unlike each other, they complement each other, they supplement each other.
That's right. In the rare case, oil and water do mix. Opposites attract, as it were. Will be interesting to see if that comes into play here. You have to give the advantage cover. You have to give the advantage to flawless Vin Parker and the heavy hitter Hit in this matchup, if only because of that tag team experience.
No, I definitely would.
Allan Breeze, the New Japan Academy Cup winner, the MVP of this dojo. Stephen Borden with wrestling pedigree to rival the best of them, but you can't beat tag team synergy, Mark.
That's right. Even with as comfortable as Allan Breeze is in this dojo, I mean, he has been sort of Mr. Showcase in so many ways.
Even with how comfortable Allan Breeze is in tag team competition in Another Life, alongside Can't Stop Jamal as one half of the Wrestle Buddies. This guy with his own deal of tag team pedigree.
And he even grew up not too far from here, just about 50 miles away in Ontario, California.
Hurricane Rana here from Vin Parker, taking Breeze off his feet. Into a go behind. Nobody home. Nobody home once again. This time it's Parker with a roll-up. Nope. Breeze tucking the shots. These two men so fresh and so familiar with one another, training multiple times a week here at this dojo. Talk to us a little bit about the type of familiarity that breeds, Mark.
Well, that's what I think you have to be able to surprise your opponent in some way, to be able to pull out a win, because they do know each other so well. They train with each other. They have a mutual respect for each other. In some cases, some of these competitors like each other. They don't all.
They don't all necessarily like each other, but I'd have to say they all respect each other.
Yes. Oh, and there's a tag, and for the first time, the son of Sting, Stephen Borden, enters the NJPW Academy ring.
And so does the heavy hitter hit. Mark Warzeka, we have ourselves a hoss fight.
These are two big men. Both over 6 feet tall, well over. Stephen Borden 6'4", hit at 6'7".
I mean, this really a full circle moment in many ways for Stephen Borden, competing in the cerulean blue. His father, Sting, competing against the likes of Antonio Inoki and Hiroshi Hase and the great Muda back in the mid-90s. So for Stephen Borden, is this something that's been written in the stars before he was even born, Mark?
Perhaps. I think back to those great Sting bouts in New Japan that you mentioned, Jordan, and his great moments in the Tokyo Dome. Sting had a great history in NJPW.
Stephen Borden does not want to let his father's legacy define him here. And well, with offense like that, a drop kick at that height, it doesn't need
5 minutes have elapsed.
Unbelievable leaping ability from Stephen Borden there,
He got
Mark.
up into the lights on that drop kick. Oh!
Staggered there is Stephen Borden. And Hit gonna take advantage. Borden right back on top of him, not letting that sway him into another gorgeous drop kick.
You called it, Jordan. You said hoss fight when these two got in against each other, and they're just pounding each other.
Leapfrog there from Hit.
Wow, I can't believe he can.
The athleticism of guys this big is simply inhuman. They shouldn't be able to move like this, Mark. Cover! And a kick out from Borden.
Fantastic agility for a man of this size.
You know, we talk a lot about the previous matches that Stephen Borden has had, dark matches for AEW and Ring of Honor. This is a completely different environment. Right. You might say, well, it's less pressure because it's less people. It's a smaller, more intimate setting. Mark, I think it's the exact opposite.
I think so too. I think entering a new venue, a new promotion.
Especially one with the prestige of the King of Sports, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Of course, there's nothing in the world like it.
Given Stephen Borden whiplash here is Hit, but Borden manages to get the boot up, and I believe Borden may have cut his tongue, maybe lost a tooth here. I'm not sure. We're seeing some blood from the mouth.
Yeah, he was checking to see. He realizes himself now that he is bleeding from the mouth. Oh, what an arm drag.
And that is a double-edged sword. Obviously not something you necessarily want to happen in a match, but if you're Stephen Borden, like a shark smelling blood in the water, sometimes tasting that blood, it can kick you into another gear, Mark.
If I were him, I would try to hold on to this armbar as long as I possibly could. He had Hit down on the mat, which is where you want him.
Yeah, you know,
but Hit's fighting his way back up.
Hit is not gonna let that go lying down.
Heavy shot.
Borden. Oh, caught with a cheap shot from behind by flawless Vin Parker.
That's what happens when you got a team that have worked together, that have wrestled together many times. You're going to see moments like that where they can take advantage of their tag team experience.
That's right. They know each other so well. You got to think in the car ride up from Texas to California where they made this trek, relocating themselves for this camp. These are the kinds of little things, the kind of minutia they discussed, Mark.
Suplex on its way. Oh, a lot of power behind it.
Even a move as fundamental and quote-unquote basic as a suplex hits that much harder with a man.
It's different when it's coming from him.
Cover. No. What a feather in the cap it would be for Vin Parker and Hit to put away Stephen Borden in the New Japan Academy Cup winner, the MVP of NJPW Academy, and Allan Breeze.
You don't think there's some hazing going on here, Jordan? Of course they want that win. Of course they want to teach Stephen Borden a lesson, right? They want to say, you sure you want to be part of this business, pal?
Well, Stephen Borden looking to prove them wrong here. Parker makes the tag to hit. Borden makes the tag to Breeze, and now we're back to square one here, Warzeka.
Allan Breeze had a lot of time to rest. He's coming in like a house of fire, taking on both men. Vin Parker whipped to the buckles, hits with a ton of force. Allan's taking on hit two, knocked him down.
Victories over the likes of Wicked Steven Stetson and Raymond Bright here at NJPW Academy wants to add these two to that list, and some serious fighting spirit on display.
Allan Breeze knows he can win the big ones under this roof. Vin Parker cut him off.
Say what you will about the attitude of Vin Parker. He's a heck of a wrestler, and say what you will about the heavy hitter hit. He is a big boy, Mark. Cover from Parker. And a kick out. We're seeing it here. Doesn't matter if you play by the rules. Doesn't matter if individually you're a superior or more experienced wrestler. Do you work better as a tag team? Because that's all that matters, Mark.
Getting a little nasty with those blows to the side of the head. Look at Vin Parker just unloading here on Allan Breeze.
And you know, for Allan
he could
Breeze,
knock him out there.
Of course, he most certainly could. We already saw what happened to Stephen Borden here. Mouth cut wide open. But for Allan Breeze, usually the strategy would be to make a tag, your fresher tag team partner. I'm not sure if Stephen Borden is any fresher, only just now back in the corner. Clearly feeling the effect of the onslaught from the Texans.
Justin Borden trying to bring a halt to this ongoing. Look at the double team.
Again, behind referee Justin Borden's back. Hit, illegally choking and battering the chest of Allan Breeze. And official none the wiser here. A cheap shot there from flawless Vin Parker.
The best two singles wrestlers on the face of the planet cannot overcome this.
It's as simple as that.
There's a difference between a singles match and a tag team match, and when you have a team who can work together like this, I don't know that's surpassable.
You know, I spoke to Vin Parker earlier. I asked him what he learned most from this camp, and he said, training with Coach Fred Rosser helped bring a more raw, gritty, violent aggression to my style. We're seeing that aggression here, but Allan Breeze maybe has an answer.
And of course, we've heard, you know, through the showcases and seen how the training here has changed Allan Breeze, made him,
all 300 pounds a hit, landing on Breeze with a senton, but it's still not enough.
Come on, Breeze.
Allan Breeze has become a more serious wrestler, a more grounded wrestler, a more focused wrestler. He said training here changed him. He doesn't get nervous anymore.
Well, he's certainly grounded, courtesy of him. When you're wrestling a man this big, we saw it with Cordell picking up a victory over Jovani. What's the strategy?
Well, and it's not only his size, right? It's that he knows how to use his size to his advantage.
And to that point, it's the explosivity. He's not a lumbering giant like the big men of past that maybe Stephen Borden's father shared a ring with. This is a new breed, a new generation of big men.
He's not only got sort of the chin lock on here, but he's leaning down, use the size, leaning down into Breeze. And look, Breeze's only hope was kind of sneak out the back door there.
Manages to escape, but has got to make the tag to Stephen Borden.
This is straight out desperation. Just open-handed slaps, just desperately unloading.
Dare I say, Warzeka, this is straight up fighting spirit. But a rolling elbow from Hit drops Breeze. He may be out cold. No, he's not. So close and yet so far. We're seeing why they call Allan Breeze the quarterback here, Mark.
If he can get somehow to his corner, if he can get to that red corner, if he can get to Stephen Borden, if he can get the tag, then maybe they'll have a chance to somehow get back in this thing.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Allan Breeze right now, Mark. I never want to count out the quarterback. I never want to count out the NJPW Academy Cup winner, but this is looking rather bleak.
Gosh, this offense has been absolutely brutal from Vin Parker and Hit. Now, great tags back and forth, vicious offense.
And keeping Allan Breeze grounded. Rub in the face of Allan Breeze. Truly insult added to injury, Mark.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and it's poor sportsmanship, and it's not the type of thing we like to see in this dojo, to be frank.
I completely agree, but if you ask Vin Parker, he would say it is necessary. It's this attitude, it's this holier-than-thou moral superiority that has made Vin Parker this confident, but maybe too confident.
Here he goes now. Here's his shot.
Allan Breeze with a drop kick escapes the clutches of Vin Parker, but hit right back on top of him. No! Friendly fire there, Mark.
Go, Allan.
Big lariat folding Vin Parker inside out, but he's got to make the tag.
Now he's got to tag. He's got to get over to the red corner.
And he's given Stephen Borden enough time. Borden's had enough time to get back up, recollect himself. He's ready for the tag here, Mark.
Crawling over. Can he make it?
Nice fingertips away. Every crawl has got to feel like agony for Allan Breeze.
Stephen Borden's reaching for it. They got it.
In comes Stephen Borden.
And in comes Hit.
We are back to a hoss fight, a clash of the titans. There is meat on the menu here at the NJPW Academy.
Two giants back and forth here. Oh, just pure power.
Big shoulder block, taking Hit off his feet. Clothesline to Vin Parker. Flapjack.
Borden's on a roll.
And now, scoop of the slam.
He slammed him. He slammed the big man.
Oh, 300 pounds of Hit. The power, the strength cannot be overstated, Warzeka.
He's taking them both on himself. And he's feeling fired up.
You know, his father celebrated his 67th birthday just yesterday. What a birthday present it would be to Dad.
Stinger splash.
Big Stinger splash in the corner and one.
Stinger splash.
Oh, man, the clock turned back.
Another splash.
Hold on. Here you go.
Stinger splash.
What is old is new again, and now a running power slam to Parker. But it's still not enough. Got Mark, if that didn't do it, I got no earthly idea what will.
Stephen Borden looks alive right now, though. He knows he's rolling. He knows he's got them exactly where he wants them.
And now,
Full Nelson of sorts.
Gonna tap Vin Parker out. No, Parker wisely escaping. Big elbow strike to the mush and tagging and Hit. And I'm not sure if Borden even realizes it here.
No, that's that veteran tag team experience. There was a blind tag essentially made.
That's right. The blind not to referee Justin Borden, but to opponent Steve Borden. And a Hit. As soon as he's back in control, as you said, Mark, as soon as he again, slows it down, keeps things at his pace, stops the explosivity of Borden dead in its tracks.
That's right. Slow it down. Borden was rolling. You want to cut that off and just dictate pace here now. Big, methodical, use your power.
You know, usually someone like Steve Borden would use their size. It's not often, maybe not ever, this only being his 20th match, that he's ever been outsized the way he is here against Hit.
And we're seeing some fighting spirit out of both men now as they hit back and forth with the forearms.
Shots to the midsection here. Borden lighting Hit up, but a big knee strike from Hit. How about that height? Into the cover. No.
Oh my God, for a second I thought he knocked him out with that knee strike. It was right on the button.
You know, Mark, we talk about Parker and Hit, training under Dustin Rhodes, Steve Borden, of course, the son of the legendary Sting. The pantheon of battles between Sting and the Rhodes family. Another chapter being written here in the LA Dojo.
And a nice, vicious uppercut from Hit takes Stephen Borden down. He keeps kind of moving his mouth. I don't know. You know, he definitely was bleeding from the mouth. It seems to still be bothering him. He may have lost a tooth.
Well, he may be losing the matchup here on the shoulders of Hit. Parker with the assisted neck breaker, and this may be all she wrote for Borden and Breeze. No! Broke it up at the last second by Allan.
Breeze came back to life, and thank goodness he did when he did.
Big jawbreaker there to Hit. A rare tag team miscalculation. I think that Parker and Hit took their eyes off the ball, took their sights away from Allan Breeze for a little too long, gave him time to recuperate, and now we're seeing Breeze and Borden work in tandem here, Warzeka.
A double team maneuver from them! All 4 men are in the ring! Duck under, a chop, a strike, firing back and forth. They're gonna take down the big man, they're gonna chop down this tree!
It may be a first-time ever tag team, but Borden and Breeze working well in tandem, or at least they were until Hit got him up. Oh no! Depositing Borden like a sack of potatoes, and Warzeka, it's true what they say, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. Almost 250 plus pounds of Stephen Borden dropped in the center.
Allan Breeze was dodging everything, but he's got caught now.
Hit looking for the same against Breeze, but he says, no way! Shame on you! Big German suplex, but Parker from behind with the torture rack bomb!
That's gotta be all.
No, it does not. It's Borden with a full Nelson. Parker didn't see it coming. Hold on, Parker escapes. Into the apron, and Sagiri. Springboard caught in midair. Down goes Parker, Borden for the win. And he's got him.
Jordan.
Time, 18 minutes and 46 seconds. Here are your winners, Allan Breeze and Stephen Borden.
Stephen Borden kept going back to that full Nelson. He kept reaching for the full Nelson bomb, and when he
Once
finally
again, the
hits,
winners of the match, Allan Breeze and Stephen Borden.
it's what gave his team the win. God, that's gotta feel good for Stephen Borden. First time in an NJPW ring to pick up the victory.
Yeah, persistence, the name of the game here tonight for Stephen Borden. And you have to think this somewhat of an upset victory, despite the familial pedigree for Borden.
I think it's an upset.
Despite the New Japan Academy pedigree for Allan Breeze, it has to be against such an established and dominant tag team in Parker and Hit.
As good as these two guys are,
The best wrestler in New Japan Academy history.
in Academy history.
I mean, you've been here since the beginning. That's up to you. You'd have to tell me.
He's right up there. I mean, he's right up there. I'm not going to take it away from him.
Good night. Today's main event is a strong survivor match. One fall with a 30-minute time limit.
When we last came to you for our last showcase, it was a 6-man tag team main event, but the two competitors in this match were both in it, and what happened there has consequences here today.
Of course, it was Raymond Bright pinning CJ Tino. Not just his team beating CJ Tino's team. It was this man with a pinfall victory over the strong survivor. And 8 months later, he finally gets his opportunity.
Strong Survivor is all about sort of defending the spot. It's sort of a king of the hill type moniker. Who's at the top of the heap? Who's in the main event of the Academy Showcase? That's the Strong Survivor. Raymond Bright wants to be the Strong Survivor, but he's got to win this main event today. But as we're pointing out, he knows he can pin his opponent. He did it. He did it at our last showcase in a 6-man tag.
Blue corner, 5 feet, 7 inches, 185 pounds. 5-star Raymond Bright!
Mark, take nothing away from 5-star Raymond Bright. I love 5-star Raymond Bright, inside and outside of the ring. You know as well as I that winning a trios match is very, very different from defeating this man, his opponent tonight, in singles competition, especially in the main event, especially with the mantle of Strong Survivor on the line.
It absolutely is, because as determined as Raymond Bright is to become the strong survivor, his opponent is that determined to stay the strong survivor.
You see the back of CJ Tino's robe. In Japanese, that translates to strong survivor. Boston strong survivor here tonight.
I've been excited since this card was announced, this stacked card, for this main event between these two terrific wrestlers that have had such great moments on previous showcases.
Red corner, strong survivor, 5 feet, 6 inches, 155 pounds, the deadlift king, CJ Tino!
You know, CJ Tino won that mantle of strong survivor at Resurgence. The vacant mantle vacated by the United Empire's Zane J over Allan Breeze at Resurgence. And at this point, he has never defended it once. In that time, New Japan Pro Wrestling has taken a step back. They have not run as many events under the New Japan Strong Mantle in the United States, and as such, the title of Strong Survivor, it's translated here to NJPW Academy. In many ways, Mark, it means that you're top of your class, the top dog here in this dojo. And Tino wants to ensure that remains him.
Wow, went for cover right away. Ooh, these two men like each other and respect each other, but you can also feel the tension in the air between them as this thing kicks off.
This is not personal, it is business for these men. It's just that business means everything. It was Tino who said becoming Strong Survivor was not just the biggest milestone of his professional wrestling career, it was the biggest milestone of his life.
I'm thinking back to 2 showcases ago when Raymond Bright was this close to becoming the first the first Academy Cup winner. He came up just a little bit short, but this is an opportunity to be a strong survivor, to come up with another huge win in a huge match.
That's right, and lest we forget, Mark, if he had won the Academy Cup, what would that have gotten him? An opportunity to challenge for the, cover again. An opportunity to challenge for the title of Strong Survivor once again. Both of these men with near falls here in the early going.
He knows he can beat him. He knows that he pinned CJ Tino in this ring, in this dojo on our last showcase, and that's got to give Raymond Bright just sort of a psychological motivation coming into this main event.
You see Bright with the vest on the back, it reads Born Survivor, saying lead up to this match, these guys, these previous Strong Survivors, Matt Vandegrift, Zane J, CJ Tino, have been molded by NJPW to be Strong Survivor. Hold on here.
Look at this, Boston Crab maybe there.
Boston Crab from the Bostonian. Small package now from Raymond Bright. Fast and furious here, Mark, not giving either competitor any room to breathe. Springboard arm drag. Oh. And a little bit of that panache that Raymond Bright has become known for here across the West Coast independent scene.
He says he can always bet on Bright.
As I was saying, previous Strong Survivors have been molded to be a Strong Survivor. Cover from Tino. Bright says he was born a survivor. Before the dojo, before California, before wrestling, he was made to survive.
He came from a family, from parents of survivors. He came from situations where he got beat up growing up in Queens, and he had to survive.
And Mark, you have to think Tino, maybe not intentionally, but perhaps only ripping off that vest to expose the chest of Raymond Bright, but for Bright, that's personal.
It's more than that. It's more than that. Yeah, he wanted to lay the chops in, but he wanted to strip away that sort of identity marker.
Hip toss there from Raymond Bright. Even without the vest, he's looking pretty impressive. It's a big drop kick, sends Tino spilling to the outside.
God, these two guys are so technically great!
And Raymond Bright takes to the skies, high-risk move, because this, the biggest matchup of his career, Warzeka, and that is no hyperbole.
We haven't seen much action on the outside throughout this card here today. Are they going to come back in, or is Raymond Bright going to... He rolls him back in, Jordan.
Raymond Bright is not an underhanded competitor.
No,
Maybe
he's not.
a little more aggressive. And talking about aggression, big DDT there from CJ Tino.
I mean, look, before becoming a professional wrestler, he's a preschool teacher, Jordan.
That's right.
I mean, he has morals and ethics. He tries to be a positive example.
Balances his life as a preschool teacher with his life as a professional wrestler, but just because of his moral compass, don't think that Raymond Bright is going to take it easy to CJ Tino here tonight. Tino likewise saying, if you want what I have, you're going to have to rip it off from my hands.
He's giving no quarter. Tino just so aggressive.
Basement drop kick right to the neck of Raymond Bright. What does that say to you, Warzeka, as Tino goes for a deep cover?
There's a certain ruthlessness in a move like that, right, Jordan?
Are you surprised to see that ruthlessness from CJ Tino?
No, because I think CJ Tino is desperate and hungry to make sure he's successful in his first Strong Survivor defense.
It's one thing to win the Strong Survivor, this being his first defense, especially cover. As it now stands as a benchmark of everything that we hope to prove here at NJPW Academy, everything that it means to learn under Coach Fred Rosser here in the LA
5
Dojo.
minutes have elapsed. 5 minutes.
Tino wants, he needs to prove he's not a one-hit wonder, Warzeka.
It's our longest time limit of the night in this main event. It is a 30-minute time limit. That's just the first 5 has elapsed.
Right now. Sunset flip. And a kick out here from Tino. Shot to the gut here from Tino.
What conditioning in these two men. They've been wrestling 5 minutes at a non-stop pace. Neither one of them are even sweating.
Not at all. Well, not only because of how much this opportunity means, but they both know this dojo. They both know this environment. And look at the power from Mr. 551. That ain't just a nickname, Warzeka. Cover. You can see Tino starting to get a little frustrated here, Warzeka. I'm not sure I've ever seen that, at least not this early on into a matchup.
Never have we seen that side of Tino here in the showcase or in this dojo.
Wow, you'll never have what I have, says CJ Tino. Do you think that's true, Warzeka?
We're gonna find out tonight. I know Raymond Bright doesn't want it to be true. He knows he has pinned Tino's shoulders to the mat for a 3 count. He's got to make it happen here again, though, in a singles match.
Tino spoke to me earlier on. He said, look at what the former Strong Survivor Matt Vandegrift did in his time as Strong Survivor, over a year with the mantle. Look at what Zane J is doing currently in the United Empire. We may not like his attitude, but a regular, successful part of the touring schedule of NJPW proper. CJ Tino wants that. He knows a win over Raymond Bright is his only way to get it. But Bright lands on his feet into a neck breaker. And this is the opening Raymond Bright needs here, Warzeka.
He can't go for a cover. He's too worn out. He needs the moment just to catch his breath and to gather himself.
Likewise, I think Raymond Bright knows he's not going to put CJ Tino away this easily, but he's got to stay on the attack. As you said, got to push the pace.
Great clotheslines.
Ducks under, off the ropes. Big flying punch.
She never stops moving. Raymond Bright is always in motion.
Perpetual motion for Raymond Bright. Now Tino with a reversal. I thought maybe Bright taking a page out of Stephen Morton's book for a moment there, but drops Tino into a cover. And a kick out from Tino.
What a shot. Could have knocked him out cold with that one.
I'll ask you plain and simple, Mark. I'll put you in the hot seat. Not even who do you think is going to win. Who do you think wants and needs it more?
That's such a tough way to look at it, because both of these men have so much invested in this moment, their lives, their careers. Raymond Bright, I know, feels like he's got to finally win the big one here tonight. CJ Tino will be embarrassed and ashamed if he can't make it through his first defense. It's huge for both of them.
Bright maybe going for the Star Grazer here. His variation of the frog splash. Tino had it scouted. Again, Mark, they know each other so well. I sound like a broken record, but it's for good reason.
What a drop kick.
Oh, we've seen this before from Tino. Talk about perpetual motion. If it ain't broke, Mark Warzeka, why fix it?
Everything Tino does is so crisp, so exact, and so punishing.
Now Tino setting Bright up again with the deadlift from the deadlift king. Into the cover. A kick out from Raymond Bright.
It's got to feel terrifying as his opponent, knowing he could just pick you up at will and throw you around this ring with his various suplexes.
But again, Raymond Bright is no stranger to that. And as you said at the All-Star Academy Showcase, granted a trios match, a completely different environment, but he's pinned him before. He's found an answer before. Can he do it again in the main event? Can he do it again with Strong Survivor up for grabs?
Here they go now. Look at this. Nose to nose. And some fighting spirit on display.
And these are men who respect and, dare I say, like each other, Mark Warzeka. This just speaks to how important that opportunity means, how important it is to be top dog here at NJPW Academy.
I'd be surprised if they didn't shake hands no matter what the result is of this match, but it wouldn't feel, it doesn't seem like it based on what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the aggression of CJ Tino, but look at Bright battering the back. What a shot, straight right from Tino.
Each one of these guys wants the best out of the other guy. They want to know they beat them at their best.
And Sagiri from Tino. You know, Mark, I never would have likened either Tino or Bright as strikers as they go Enzagiri for Enzagiri, but they're proving me wrong here. Bright again thinking sunset flip, but Tino rolls through into a Boston crab.
Did we see it?
Can he get him over?
Oh, he locked him in and sunk down deep into it.
Beyond his roots as a New Englander, how full circle would it be for Tino to win this match against a fellow NJPW Academy graduate with this move?
This is pure New Japan Pro Wrestling. And Raymond Bright has two choices right now in his life, to tap or get to the ropes. That's it.
He's fingertips away. Can he make it, Warzeka? Yes, he can. Tino with no choice but to break.
He did not immediately break. Jordan, you could call that vicious or you could call it smart strategy, but he let referee Justin Borden count to almost 5 before he broke.
And this is not typical of CJ Tino arguing with the official saying, really, are you sure? Wasting precious time. Big drop kick.
Right on the mark, just like every move he has hit tonight has been.
And I think CJ Tino may well be zeroing in on his first successful defensive Strong Survivor. Going for the Chaos Theory here, Mark. But it's the same pin. It's the same pin that Bright used to beat Tino back at the All-Star Academy Showcase.
But it didn't get him 3 this time. It didn't get him a 3 this time.
Now into a backslide. Will that do the trick? No, it will not. Again, both shoulders down. Whoa! We gotta wait for the official call from Adnan. What was it?
Time, 11 minutes and 46 seconds. The referee has ruled both shoulders for both men were on the ground at the same time.
No.
Thus, this contest is a draw.
It's Coach Fred Rosser here.
This is Fred Rosser, the head coach here at NJPW Academy, coming in the ring talking to our referee. Fred's gonna take the mic.
You guys want to see a winner tonight? Referee, restart this match.
That's what I'm talking about. Coach Fred Rosser, the sensei for both Bright and CJ Tino, and he's not gonna let it go down that way, Mark.
Waist lock. We're back into this thing.
We will have a winner. We will decide a Strong Survivor here tonight.
God, these men are so well matched. A double pinfall. All shoulders were down, Jordan.
I mean, it would be a pleasure to have either one of these men represent NJPW Academy, but only one can hold the mantle.
I can respect the draw, but we don't want to see the draw, right? We want to see a winner here tonight.
And will that winner be CJ Tino? Cover. No! Kick out from Bright.
God, he's a suplex master. He can just get under you from any angle and drop you, as we saw again there.
And Tino here, as he gives Bright room to breathe, removing the wrist tape, you have to wonder, has he hit Raymond Bright with everything he has to give? Does he have a shot left deep in the chamber?
I think yes, but also hit him with it again. I mean, CJ Tino's got such fantastic high-impact offense.
Oh my God, slapping the taste out of Raymond Bright's mouth. And I'm not sure that was wise of Mr. 551. I think he just woke something up in the concrete comet.
Is tonight the night? The more serious than ever Raymond Bright wins the big one!
Sit out power bomb! Raymond Bright! Oh! So close, but no cigar, Mark Warzeka.
We had a draw in this match, but we're still going.
And for my money, no official time limit. This is an unofficial sudden death matchup.
We will see a winner. We will have a strong survivor.
Bright back up to the top, thinking Stargrazer, but Tino had it scouted. And now, CJ got him up once again.
All the way up, Jordan.
Planting Bright on the top rope. What the hell is CJ Tino going for, Warzeka?
I do not know, and I don't know that Raymond Bright knows.
Waist lock. I think Tino may be looking for a German suplex from that height. Forget Bright losing the matchup if Tino lands this. He might lose a whole hell of a lot more.
But he's put Bright in a...
Avalanche German suplex!
This has got to be all.
CJ Tino is still your strong... No! Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me?
Raymond Bright is still in this thing. The born survivor. Found a way to kick out like he has so many times in his life.
He survived since the day he was born. It is all led to this. Tino gonna go for those drop kicks one more time.
This cardio, this conditioning, this intensity, this pace, this long into this match is
Big punch! Bright with the punch once
15
again.
minutes have elapsed. 15 minutes.
Raymond Bright, he's got Tino down.
He's not gonna cover, he's going up.
He wants that Stargrazer. He wants to do it his way. Go big or go home, says Raymond Bright. Stargrazer, and Raymond Bright is your strong survivor.
Time, 15 minutes and 23 seconds. Here is your winner and new strong survivor, Raymond Bright!
I used to say he was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Not anymore, Jordan.
Once again, your
Raymond
winner
Bright just won the big
and
one.
new strong survivor, Raymond Bright.
Here comes the bride. Here tonight, Mark Warzeka. Raymond Bright truly living up to that moniker of 5-star. A clinic against CJ Tino and respect shown. You called it. This right here is what NJPW Academy is all about. This is what New Japan Pro Wrestling is all about.
What a great moment for both of these professional wrestlers.
CJ Tino just said to me, I'm sorry, and I think I speak for everyone here when I say he has nothing to apologize for, Mark.
Absolutely not. He's going to be back here. He's going to be back here, challenging to be strong survivor once again.
Let's hear from the new strong survivor, Raymond Bright.
Wow. I really wasn't expecting to get a speech, man. But I just want to say, 2 years I've been out here in California. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody. And I came out here and I took a chance on myself at the New Japan Academy. And 2 years I went from zero to everybody knowing my name. So thank you. Thank every single one of y'all. Because without y'all, I wouldn't be manifesting my destiny. I'd just be, I don't even know. But thank you.
Summer intake begins May 11th. More information at NJPW Academy on Instagram or NJPW1972.com. For Mark Warzeka, I'm Jordan Castle. This has been the 3rd anniversary anniversary NJPW Academy Showcase. That is your strong survivor, 5-star Raymond Bright. We thank you so much for joining us.
NJPW Academy in Los Angeles, California. Are you an experienced pro wrestler looking to get to the next level? Or are you looking to take your first steps into the ring? NJPW Academy offers beginners and advanced level classes taught by world-class trainers. Learn the strong style traditions of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I am New Japan Academy. Johnnie, New Japan Academy.
Please visit njpw1972.com for more information.